Congratulations, both KTM riders. Congratulations. First, let's go to Chase Sexton. Chase, you've been on a roll here of late. Looks like you're very comfortable in the second moto. A tip over, and the number 7 gets by you, and then all of a sudden you're back in front. You're number 1 again. Tell us about that.
Yeah. Second, first motos, I don't know. I don't know if I'm just too tired or speed or what it is, but yeah, first motos haven't been the greatest, but second motos have been kind to me. As soon as I even do the side lap, I'm like, okay, I feel better than the first one, which is I don't know why, but yeah, I felt good. I knew I had the speed to win second moto, and then I fell over. Both my crashes today are just stupid mistakes, not mental mistakes, but me focusing on lapper and not paying attention to the line I'm in and just tipping over. So I was pretty bummed out, and honestly, it's kind of pissed me off. I just dropped the hammer after that, and I knew I had the speed to win still. So yeah, it made it hard to win.
From the NBC Peacock broadcast, that tip over, and you heard the groan around Butts Creek, and I'm sure most of that groan was coming from you. But like you said, when you got back up, you were a man on a mission. You were tenacious. You attacked the racetrack after that. You weren't just racing it; you were attacking it.
Yeah, I think the whole year I feel like I ride almost smoother when I'm more aggressive, which I don't know why that is, but yeah, the bike likes when you're aggressive and push it. So I pushed her deep in that second moto.
Very good. Aaron Plessinger, very consistent today for you. You had a 3-3 for a third overall. Once again on the podium. Big fan favorite. It's amazing. The fans, they scream for you. It's just really amazing your persona when you come to that podium.
Yeah. Today was it was pretty good. You know, the first moto, man, I don't know. These guys, they passed me and they left me, and that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. and I just wanted to come out and battle with them in the second moto, which I did, and I felt better about it. But yeah, I got to find that speed from 15 minutes on. But no, it was a really good day. 3-3 and my third podium in a row. So I can't be too mad at it. Consistent podiums, and yeah, like you said, the fans are they're awesome, man. Just about everywhere we go, I don't know, they light it up for me, and it's so awesome to see from east to west, west to east. It's pretty cool to see a lot of them show up at the race, watch the race, and then have them have that much enthusiasm for me at the end.
Pretty awesome. So I'm going to ask both of you a question, and I don't want an answer until the end. Then we're all done. Describe Butts Creek in one word. One word, and we'll come back to that. Our gallery here, yep.
Jim Kimball with Motocross Action for Chase Sexton. Chase, I've seen you win a lot of races and cross the finish line, and obviously you're happy. The second moto, you seem like super pumped. Where are you and what caused that?
I just kind of wanted to put a stamp on today, honestly, and kind of set the tone for the coming into next weekend and even for SMX. Every race you're out there to prove something, and I'm not one of those guys that just rolls over. I'll push to the end, and I know anything's possible. So I was just stoked. I knew my speed was good, and I feel like last weekend my second moto was really, I mean, for me, one of my cleanest races. But this one today felt like my speed was even better, and I had to do it for the whole race, which was a more difficult task, but it made it interesting, I guess.
With your results this summer, now have you gotten to the point where even if you don't get the greatest start, you have the confidence that maybe by mid-moto you're going to find your way to the front?
Yeah, I mean, I think the last 2 years, it really got me to this point. 22 battling Eli, and then last year just getting beat by Jet every moto. Really just put a chip on my shoulder and taught me a lot about racing, because those two race completely different, and I tried to take both of what they do well and mix it into my riding. And I feel like this year has kind of been a show of that, at least. So I feel way more calm, way more collected, and just overall more patient than I have in the last few years. I mean, Budds Creek has not been that good to me. I don't think I've ever been on the podium on a 450 here, which is tough. But yeah, today I was able to win, so I was stoked on that.
And then a question for Aaron. Aaron, I think Ironman is kind of considered your home outdoor. It's also maybe Chase's home outdoor. So what are you going to do to beat your teammate at Ironman?
I'm just gonna smoking. I want to show up with as much confidence as he has right now, and just lay the wood down. Now, I like Ironman. I always seem to flow really good there. Last 2 years I've podiumed there, so yeah, maybe I can get a good start and try and run with these boys as long as I can again, or maybe find some good lines and beat them.
Dan Beaver, NBC Sports. First of all, weren't you guys up here last week?
Yep.
So you're in, Aaron. You're in decent shape for third place in motocross. Finished third place last year, and then fifth place in the Super Motocross series. What do you need to concentrate on between now and ZMAX to get that podium finish in the championship, world championship?
I feel like I'm in a pretty good spot. This week we did ride a hybrid supercross motocross track, and the bike felt good. I felt good for one day, and then the next day I was I was sore as all get out. So switching from outdoor stuff to supercross stuff is a lot different than vice versa, because you're going from, you spent 3 months on something that absorbs everything, and then you're going back to something that feels like 2x4s compared to what we're on now. But no, I feel like I'm in a good spot. If Charlotte is anything like it was last year, the track layout, I think I'm in a really good spot. Definitely a better spot than I was last year, and I think I finished like 5th or 6th on that day. So yeah, I think I'm in a good spot. I just need to focus on my starts and focus on just overall aggression and just running 20 minutes as hard as I can.
And obviously, we don't know exactly what the tracks are going to look like, but we've seen the maps, and we've got the 1 year, 3 races under our belt. Do you think you've got something to go on going into the playoffs?
Maybe. I feel like a lot of us are still in that kind of don't know until we get there zone. That's what we were last year. Like, some of us showed up with outdoor stuff, and some of us showed up with full-blown supercross stuff, and it was just like, it was almost a perfect in-between, which threw a lot of us off. And yeah, I think we maybe have a little bit more to go on just because we've had a year under our belt now. And I mean, it's really only 3 races, but last year I did supercross stuff at Charlotte, and then full-blown outdoor stuff for Chicago, and then back to full-blown supercross for LA. So yeah, I'm gonna take it as it goes, show up, do the riding on Friday, and just see where I stand. But overall, I think we're in a pretty good spot.
And for Chase, got 2 questions. The first one is, you won the first Super Motocross race last year. You nailed the setup coming out of the gate. How important, and snapped Jet Lawrence's winning streak by doing that. It's impossible to not think of you guys as head-to-head, the 2 guys that need to be beaten. Does this 5-race winning streak lead you into that and give you that added bit of confidence to take on Jed if and when he returns?
Yeah, I mean, outdoors and SMX are quite a bit different. Um, it's going to be interesting. I'm happy to have Jet back. Obviously, I feel like the outdoors this year have been, I don't know, it seems like there's a lot of guys that can go really fast, and everyone seems to have been just stepped up their game from last year, which is going to be exciting. So, I don't know. It could be a two-horse race, or AP can come out here and just beat us both. So, we'll see. I think for me, I'm just going to go off instinct like I did last year at Charlotte and not overthink it, because then once I started overthinking it, I lost my flow, and then you saw how it ended in LA last year. So try just keep it. What? Yeah, we both ended it not good. So we'll just try and go off instinct and not second guess stuff, because once I went to Chicago, I rode Supercross suspension. I was battling AP. He hunted me down late in the second one. I'm like, man, I did not make the right decision because I could not do anything out there. So, yeah, we'll see how it goes, and just go with the flow.
And needing that momentum, did that add a little extra pressure to the last two rounds, second motos? You won both of the overalls with the tiebreaker by winning that second race. Was that part of the motivation, just to keep that momentum alive?
Just as a racer, I just want to win. I don't really care how I do it. And going 1-1 is nice, and you can gain a lot of points doing that way. But if I'm not all there in the first moto, I'm not going to push it over my head and force something that doesn't need to be forced. So I just kind of, I don't hold back. I mean, I give it a good effort. But second moto is kind of when I shine, and it seems that when I come into my own, that's a big thanks to my trainer, Peter. He's been with me since 2021, and my fitness, I feel like every year gets better and better. Starting at 22, and now I feel like I can really outlast a lot of guys in the track. So that's a big shout out to him, and second motos have been my friend.
Brett from We Went Fast, we made a big deal about the tire choices on NBC. In fact, Adam went and asked Ian what you guys were running. We knew what Hunter was running. Was it a difficult choice for your tires? Did you have a choice?
I mean, Jade, my mechanic, really made my choice for me. He came over about halfway through the 250 moto and was just like, dude, I think it's really, really hard out there. So just think about it. And when I came out, he had like he had a regular tire on, whatever number that is, and he had carved a little bit out of it, so it was like a modified regular tire. So yeah, that's what I ran. And I mean, I don't think in the first moto, I don't think you can tell a difference, and in the second moto, I think if we were to run a scoop, that would have been really slick. I saw that Hunter was on one, and some of the times that he was coming out of those hard corners, he would slide, slip, and I would hook up, and it was just I don't know. I think tires are so good these days, it doesn't really matter really what you run, as long as whatever you're most comfortable on.
I ran the scoop first moto. I almost went to the mechanics area off the start, got too much traction. It's not good. So I went to the regular tire second moto. My start still was horrible, but my whole thing the first moto, I just wanted to get out of the start, and I ended up coming into the corner pretty much last. So we just said, I can't really get any worse off the start, so we'll just go to the regular tire. I know it's better on the rest of the track. But there were some areas where it was good, some areas where it was bad, but I think for side traction, you can't beat a regular tire. So I went with that for second moto.
Mitch Kendrick, Racer X. We're going to wrap this up, I think, here real quick. But Chase, you mentioned not being able to do as well as you would have liked at this track in years before. How were you gelling with the track this go around? What was different? What was your approach? Was it any different? Just walk us through what, you've been doing really well in all the tracks, but what made today better than it has been here?
I mean, I put a big emphasis this week on just trying to get better at this track, or not get better, but really focus on I think the first moto for me has been the disaster moto. So today, after I got second first moto, I'm like, man, that's pretty good because I don't think I've been inside the top 6 or 7 in the first moto ever here on a 450. So I'm like, yeah, second's good. And then I won the second moto here. I think I did in 22. So I can go fast here. Even last year, I was fast, but I just seemed to lay around the ground on this track. So I was pretty not nervous, but I was pretty anxious this week to get to this track and like just go out there and try and at least get on the podium. My average finish I looked at was 4.00 because I've been fourth place every year. So this day was better.
All right. Anybody in the gallery? So my last question, you have to answer one word. Describe Budds Creek in one word. Chase?
Well, for me, I'd say difficult.
Aaron?
I was gonna say hard, but for today, slippery.
Slippery. Very good.